Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I, Umesh More, Chairman of the company, extend a warm welcome to all members attending the 66th Annual General Meeting of Growler and Weil India Limited. The Company Secretary has confirmed the presence of the requisite quorum, and therefore I hereby declare this AGM to be in order. I trust all of you are safe and in good health. This meeting is being conducted through video conferencing in line with the provisions of the Companies Act 2013 and as per the guidelines issued by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs and the Securities and Exchange Board of India. The company has made every effort to facilitate member participation and voting through this virtual platform. Since the AGM is being held virtually, the appointment of proxies is not applicable. The registers of directors, key managerial personnel, contracts, and other relevant documents mentioned in the notice of AGM are available for inspection. Members interested in viewing these documents can email the company secretary, please. Before proceeding further, I would like to introduce the members of the board and other key officials present today. To my right is Mr. Neeraj More. To his right is Mr. Rohit More. To my left, Mr. Yogesh Samat. And Mr. Ashok Kanoria is to the extreme right. Mr. Ayush Agarwala, who's to come as yet, has he already come? Yes. He is coming. So Mr. Ayush Agarwala will be joining us very shortly. Then we have with us Mr. Gurendra Singh Gulati and Mr. Chintan Gandhi, our company secretary. Additionally, Mr. Anil Mahavir Prasad Gadodia, independent director and chairman of the audit committee, and Dr. Prerna Goradia, independent director and chairperson of the nomination and remuneration committee, are attending this AGM via video conferencing from Bombay. Our statutory auditors, secretarial auditors, and scrutinizers have also joined from the corporate office. I now request Mr. Neeraj More to continue with the meeting proceeding. Neeraj, please.
Thank you, Chairman, sir. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the board, I extend my sincere thanks to all shareholders for joining us virtually today. Before we proceed with the main agenda, I would like to highlight a few key points about the participation and voting process for this meeting. The video conferencing facility has been provided by Central Depository Services India Limited. The annual general meeting is being streamlined and recorded for compliance purposes. To ensure a smooth meeting, all participants are on mute by default. The notice of the annual general meeting, along with financial statements and audit reports, has been circulated electronically to all members and is available on the company's website and the Bombay Stock Exchange. E-voting has been enabled both before and during the meeting for all eligible members. Members who haven't cast their votes via remote e-voting can do so during the meeting using the CDSL platform. Since the voting process has already been initiated, there is no need for formal proposal and seconding of resolutions. Messrs. GMJ and Associates, practicing company secretaries, have been appointed as the scrutinizer for the meeting. The combined results of remote e-voting and voting conducted today will be shared on the company's website and with the stock exchange. Before I proceed with the formal agenda, I would like to give a brief synopsis on the general operations of your company. Globally, 2024 was a year of challenges with transient geopolitical tensions and global economic slowdown. However, the Indian economy demonstrated resilience with strong growth due to stringent monetary policies and stable governance. We leveraged this growth momentum along with our legacy built upon 60 years to achieve yet another profitable year and deliver value to our customers. We achieved a total income of rupees 1,085 crores, marking a 9% growth from the previous year. Our net profit rose by a little over 28% to rupees 144 crores, whilst our EBITDA reached 218 plus crores, a 26.3% increase from last year. These results reflect our resilience and focus in a dynamic market situation. Of the total income of 1,085 crores, the surface finishing segment, which constitutes nearly 81% of the total income, grew by 4.3% over the previous year, followed by the engineering segment, which contributes 13%, grew by 42%, and the growth of the mall segment, which represents 3%, remained flat. The income in the surface finishing segment are generated from three distinctly different but synergetic businesses, all relating to surface finishing. The general metal finishing chemicals, which constitutes 57%, industrial paints, which constitutes 41%, and the industrial lubricants, which constitutes 2%. The general metal finishing or the chemical division, which is the flagship in the surface finishing, is engaged in the manufacture and supply of electroplating and specialty chemicals, including decorative top coats. It enjoys a leadership position with close to 35% market share in proprietary electroplating chemicals. Customers are spread across the automotive, jewelry, hardware, sanitary fittings, electronics, white goods, defense, aerospace industries, to name a few. 90% of the sales through distributors and 10% of the sales is direct. This division underwent consolidation in FY24. While some product segments performed well, others faced challenges due to streamlining efforts. We anticipate improved performance in the coming years as we reap the benefits of this consolidation. Coming years will be a golden era for the chemical division. Emerging markets such as semiconductors, renewable energy, and accumulators will play an important role in defining the business and consequently our future for this division. As the world continues to transition towards more connected devices and digital age, the demand for high performance, durable, and precise electronics, which power everything from smartphones to advanced computing systems, is bound to increase exponentially. Electroplating and wet chemical processes play a major role in the fabrication and packaging of semiconductors. Metals such as copper, nickel, gold, and tin are preciously electrodeposited to improve electrical conductivity, reduce losses, and enhance overall performance. With advancements in the microelectronics and the rise of 5G, IoT, and AI, the demand for smaller, faster, and more energy-efficient chips will drive the electroplating market forward. In emerging markets like India, which are increasingly promoting investments in semiconductor fabrication and packaging, this segment provides a fertile ground for the expansion of electroplating services. Another focus area, which will be a game changer for the chemical division, will be the renewable energy sector. As the world shifts towards cleaner and more sustainable energy sources, the renewable energy sector has seen exponential growth. Wet chemicals have significant applications here, especially in the production of solar panels, wind turbine components, and hydrogen electrolyzers. In the realm of the solar energy, surface finishing chemicals are used during the manufacture of solar cells and modules. Chemicals are used to clean and texture the silicon substrate, deposit electrical contacts, and protect the module frame. These processes help enhance the overall efficiency and lifetime of solar modules. For wind turbines too, electroplating is crucial for coating various mechanical components with materials that resist corrosion, wear, and fatigue, especially in harsh environments like the offshore installations. These protective coatings not only extend the lifespan of turbines, but also reduce maintenance costs, an essential factor for countries looking to expand their wind energy capacity. As emerging markets invest heavily in renewable infrastructure, the demand for reliable surface finishing solutions will expand, providing major growth for the industry. Surface treatment in accumulators and energy storage is a critical element of the modern energy grid and deeply embedded in the production of advanced accumulators and batteries, especially those used in electric vehicles and renewable energy storage systems. Electroplating of components in lithium-ion batteries, such as the anodes and cathodes, is essential for improving the battery's overall efficiency, longevity, and energy density. This process plays a vital role in reducing resistance, enhancing conductivity, and increasing the charge capacity of batteries. With the global push towards electric mobility, EV manufacturers are seeking cutting-edge technologies to extend driving ranges, shorten charging times, and increase battery life cycles. With investments in the upcoming Grovel Tech Center, your company is committed to providing solutions to the sunrise industrial segment to meet the global standards of precision and durability. The second segment, which is our industrial paints, forms 41% of the surface finishing segment. This segment caters primarily to industrial heavy-duty coatings, including pipeline coatings, marine, aerospace, and defense. We have nearly 10% market share of the 3,000 crore industry of this product segment to which we cater to. We supply largely to oil and gas refineries, power plants, heavy chemical industries, pipelines, infrastructure, and business model evolves direct sales with no distribution channel in between. As the Indian economy grows and modernizes, the demand for industrial paints is expanding at an unprecedented rate, driven by factors ranging from infrastructure development and manufacturing expansion to growing environmental awareness and innovation in coating technologies. India is currently experiencing a period of significant infrastructure growth. The government's focus on ambitious projects like smart cities, highway expansion, and metro rail networks is creating a surge in demand for industrial coatings to protect and enhance the longevity of buildings, bridges, railways, and airports. Infrastructure is more than just steel and concrete. It's about preservation and durability. Industrial paints play a crucial role here by providing anti-corrosion, fire-resistant, and weatherproof coatings. Whether it's protecting structural steel from the harsh Indian climate or ensuring long-lasting durability for roads and rail systems, industrial coatings are indispensable. Furthermore, as urbanization accelerates, industries such as real estate, construction, and transport are booming, creating a broader canvas for industrial paint solutions. Companies operating in sectors like power generation, oil and gas, and shipping will increasingly require specialized coatings that ensure not only protection, but also compliance with stringent environment regulations. The government's Make in India initiative in transforming the country into a global manufacturing hub with industries like automobiles, defense, aerospace, navy, electronics, textile, and heavy engineering at the forefront. As new manufacturing plants and factories are set up across the country, the demand for industrial paints, particularly those used for machinery equipment and factory interiors, will surge. In conclusion, India's industrial paint sector is standing at the cusp of a new era. Infrastructure growth, manufacturing expansion, sustainability trends, and technological innovations are all driving the business for advanced industrial coatings. For businesses willing to adapt to these changes and invest in cutting-edge technologies and sustainable solutions, the opportunities are boundless. The third segment of our surface finishing, which is the industrial lube business. Our product profile in this segment includes rust preventive, cutting, hydraulic, specialty heat treatment oils. This division caters primarily to automotive and heavy equipment, wires and cables, die casting, bearings, aerospace, etc. The sales are made both directly as well as through distributors, and split between the two is nearly 50 to 50-50. Unlike the previous year's performance, the industrial lubricants financial year 24 turned out a much better performance with about 25.8% growth. Competition intensified in this segment as well, but a strong innovation pipeline ensured increased customer trials, improved acceptance, and consequently robust business growth momentum. Prospects for this segment continue to be genuine in the years to come, as specialized and varied metalworking applications need super specialized lubricant formulations for optimal performance and results. Engineering division manufactures and supplies process plants, including plants for electroplating, phosphating, pickling, anodizing, zinc flake coating, to name a few, along with filtration and water systems, wastewater treatment, and zero liquid discharge plants. The industries served by this division include hardware, fasteners, aerospace, defense, steel, wires, and lube and tube, electrical bath fittings, architectural fixtures, industrial applications, and electronics. The sales are 100% direct sales. The engineering division achieved record sales with a growth of over 41.8% in FY24. This was buoyed by robust orders from several new industries projected to be high growth sectors in manufacturing, as well as some repeat orders from existing customers. More than 40% of our orders came from new customers, which is reflective of a resurgent capex cycle in India. Financial years 2024-25 augurs well, and the segment has set itself some aggressive growth objectives. Additional capacity creation is underway in this business to be able to cater to the increased demand in the future. The mall segment maintained a nominal performance, identical to the preceding year. Several initiatives and capital expenditure plans are afoot to update the Grovel's 101 Mall and give our patrons a reason to visit regularly. Several new retailers have been added as retail footfalls are returning, although new competition on the horizon continues to be an emerging challenge. All in all, we have a future full of possibilities. As Indian economy continues to grow and innovate, these sunrise segments such as semiconductors, renewable energy, etc., will gain more momentum, and technologies will become more advanced, leading to the demand for precise, reliable, and innovative electroplating solutions. This is where companies like Grovel, with decades of expertise in surface finishing solutions, can lead the change, driving growth, innovation, and progress in these critical sectors. Your company is focused to partner in these upcoming sectors to provide cutting-edge solutions, adapt to evolving market needs, and ensure high-quality, sustainable practices. Let us embrace these opportunities, invest in technological advancements, and continue to support the industries that will define the future. Together, we can help shape a cleaner, smarter, and a more connected world. Thank you. And with the permission of the chairman, now we shall proceed with the formal agenda. I will take the notice of AGM and director's report as read, as they have already been circulated and made available online. Additionally, the statutory auditors and secretarial auditors' reports do not contain any qualifications or adverse remarks, so these will be also taken as read. The following items of business are to be considered at this annual general meeting. Ordinary business. First item, adoption and approval of standalone and consolidated financial statements for the year ended 31st March 2024. Item number 2, confirmation of dividend payment of rupees 50 paisa per equity share for financial year 23-24. Third item, reappointment of Mr. Umesh Kumar More as director retiring by rotation. Special business is appointment of Mr. Ashok Kanoria as independent director, appointment of Mr. Anil Mahabir Prasad Gadodia as independent director, and ratification of remuneration for cost auditors for financial year 24-25. Now I will invite shareholders who have registered as speakers. Please note that each speaker will have 2 minutes to express their views or ask questions. Our host will unmute each speaker in turn. If there are any connectivity issues, we will proceed to the next speaker and return to the earlier speaker later. Once all the speaker shareholders have finished, the management team will respond to the queries raised. May I now request Ms. Celestine Mascarenhas to be unmuted, please. Hello. Ms. Celestine Mascarenhas, are you there? Can we check? What's the... Hello. Where is he? Should we move on to the next speaker?
Hello, I am unmuted. Yes. Hello.
Yes, Ms. Celestine, please, Miss, how are you?
Just putting, I am good. I'm just want to start my video.
Okay.
Okay, I go. It will start. Yes, sir. Can you see me?
Yes, we can see you, Ms.
I'm
Mascarenhas.
glad I can also see you. After 1 year in this virtual AGM. Anyway, I go to the formal part. Respected Chairman, Mr. Umesh Kumar More, MD Neeraj Kumar More, other members of the board, my dear fellow shareholders, I am Mrs. C. Mascarenhas, speaking from Mumbai. First of all, I have to say a big thank you to our secretary, Mr. Chintan K. Gandhi and his team for sending me an annual report and also registering me as a speaker at my request and giving me this platform, which was somewhat very easy to open and interact and from the comfort of my home. Thank you so much. Our working is good. PBT PAT is up and EPS is also up. A very good dividend of 50 paisa and not to miss bonus 1:1. Some 4-5 months back, we also credit in our account. So thank you very much. I congratulate for all the awards, accolades, also very good CSR work. Our performance is very good. We have 6 production sites. I would like to know what is the average capacity utilization. We have 2 R&D centers. How many people are in these R&D centers, average age and the attrition level? We have exports to 50 plus countries. It is a really feather to our cap and we are doing extremely well. Now my question is, we are in surface finishing segment, chemical, lubricants, paints and engineering segment. I would like to know where the growth is very good and where we will get very good margin. Rest, I don't want to ask many questions because I have full faith in you, in your team and in your management, because you are always thinking of the shareholders. How can I reward the shareholders? So where there is so much faith, there are no much queries. With this, thank you very much for giving me this patient hearing. And I pray that you all get good health, entire Groverwell team is all blessed with good health, because health is wealth. And also very good festive season which are in the offing. With this, I conclude. I wishing, thanking you very much for giving me this opportunity once again. Namaskar. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Mascarenhas. We would like to now invite Ms. Meenal Bang. Hello. Okay, Ms. Meenal Bang is not there. So then we would like to now invite Kirti Bhai Shah. Mr. Kirti Shah, please. Please unmute. Okay, then we move on to please unmute Mr. Bimal Agarwal. This is masculine. Mr. Bimal Agarwal, please. Then kindly unmute Mr. Yusuf Rangwala. Mr. Rangwala is there.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Good
आपका आवाज आ रहा है?
afternoon, good afternoon, Mr. Rangwala. Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. How are you, sir? मोरे सर कैसे हो? सर पहले तो अपना चिंतन गांधी सर, उनके बारे में क्या बोलूं सर? आपने हीरा ढूंढा है सर. वो ऐसे हीरे जो कभी भी हीरे की चमक नहीं कम होती सर. आपने पूरा बताया, पेन डिवीजन और इंजीनियरिंग डिवीजन, सब कंपनी अपने सब डिवीजन में सब अच्छा है, बढ़िया है सर. आपने डिविडेंड भी अच्छा दिया और अपना प्रोग्रेस भी अच्छा, 2% आपका ग्रोथ है सर, सब बढ़िया है सर. कांडीवली का अपना ऐड, अपने जहाँ पहले बिग बजट है, पहले रिलायंस है, और अपना पीवीआर सिनेमा है कांडीवली में जो अपना बिजनेस है, वहां पे अपना क्या इनकम है सर? व्हाट ग्रोथ वी आर गेटिंग एंड व्हाट, कितना साल के लिए आपने उनको ग्रीस पे दिया सर? दिस इज माय पॉइंट. पॉइंट नंबर 2, व्हेन वाज द लास्ट बोनस गिवन सर? मैंने सर अभी बोनस दिया था आपने सर, अबाउट लास्ट ईयर आपने बोनस दिया था सर, उसके लिए सर मैं आपको धन्यवाद देता हूँ सर. हैविंग अ गुड प्रॉफिट, डिक्लेयर अ बोनस due to bonus. I am the very happy and very proud shareholder of this company, sir. Factory visit, sir. Thank you very much. No more questions, sir. I wish our company good luck. फूलों की खुशबू कलियों की बार और ग्रो वरी का साथ हमेशा रहे. और चिंतन गांधी के बारे में सर, I wish our company secretary चिंतन गांधी very excellent, very handsome and very particular, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for giving us a particular shareholder. And sir मेरा फैमिली में मोहित रंगवाला भी है सर, उनसे उनकी तरफ से भी मैं ज्वाइन करता हूँ सर. मोहित रंगवाला की तरफ से भी उनके से भी ज्वाइन करता हूँ. उनके पास 1000 शेयर है सर, और वो आपके शेयर सर इतने अच्छे सर, वो कभी हम जिंदगी में नहीं बेचेंगे सर. एक्सीलेंट कंपनी, एक्सीलेंट वर्क विथ योर ग्रो एंड वेल. जय हो जय हो जय हो तेरी जय हो सर. थैंक यू वेरी मच सर. खुदा हाफिज.
Thank you so much.
Thank you तो बोलो भाई. You can't say. Oh, sorry.
Haji. Okay, then please unmute Ms. Minal Varun Bang.
Yeah, hi. Thanks for the opportunity. So I have few questions. I have, of course, sent them through email. I'll just read them one by one. So first question is, we have almost doubled our profits in last 4 to 5 years, but the absolute dividend has actually remained same, and there is also significant drop in the payout ratio this year. So what is the reason? Question number one. Number two, we are holding our cash holding as a percentage of size of the business has gone up. So we are holding close to 500 crores in terms of cash, and we continue to generate, let's say, 150 crores every year. That should be suffice to meet our expansion plans. So then why are we accumulating cash? Now question number three, what was the market growth in the electroplating market in FY24, and have we ceded market share to peers? Because if we consider 41% of revenues in surface finishing is paints, then there seems to be degrowth in the core business. So if you can share more clarity on that. Question number 4, we have talked about competitive pressures in the chemicals division. So how do we typically deal with such pressures? If you can share some thoughts there. Question number 5, which new end markets have we added or started catering to in last 1 year or so in the first surface finishing business? And which new end markets are we looking to add over the next 1 to 2 years? If you can share some insights on that. Question number 7, we are increasing share of new markets where value addition is higher. Can you please share some thoughts on that? So how are we increasing our market share in the new markets where the value addition is higher? Question number 8, how do you see our preparedness with respect to technology and products in the newer markets such as uh, solar modules, coating, and wind turbines that you mentioned? If you can share some thoughts, and also share some thoughts about the kind of opportunity which is there in the wind turbine and solar module segment, given that this will be a large surface, volumes would be much higher. So would we be directly catering to customers, or this will be routed through a distribution model? Question number 10, if you can share some, if you can share margin and ROC profile of the paints division, that would be helpful. And the momentum that we are seeing in engineering division, is it likely to sustain? Question number 12, what would be the key priorities for the WAPI R&D center, and how different is it going to be versus our existing setup? And what incremental capabilities are we looking to add here? And there is substantial increase in the receivables. This is the last question. Due for more than 6 months. So if you compare FY23 receivables versus FY24, there is significant increase in receivables that are due for more than 6 months. So what is the reason for the same? If you can share some thoughts. So request you to answer my questions one by one. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Bang. Okay. Okay. Now we can unmute Mr. Vinod Agarwal. Okay. Since Mr. Agarwal is not there, then please unmute Mr. Bharat Shah. Mr. Bharat Shah is also, I believe, not there. Then please unmute Mr. G.R. Balaji. Okay. Okay. Then we move on to Mr. Anil Mehta. Mr. Anil Mehta may be unmuted, please. No. Okay, then we may kindly unmute Ms. Swecha Jain. Ms. Swecha Jain. Yeah. Ms. Jain, are you there? Hello? Okay, he's not there. Okay, then we move on to Mr. Anuj Sharma. Yes.
Yeah, thanks. Am I audible?
Yes, Mr. Sharma, you're audible.
Yeah, thank you. I have sent in my list of questions, but for the sake of everyone, I'll try to repeat them. First is on surface finishing. How do we understand the addressable opportunity in this segment? And as per capita income of a country rises, does surface finishing grow disproportionately versus the GDP growth rate? I think you touched upon this point, but some more elaboration will be helpful. How do we see our competitive position? Do we aspire to increase our market share from 30 to higher level? Or due to the existing competition, we'll be happy to maintain it as existing level in the next 3 to 5 years? Are we seeing newer areas of application where will have a greater lead over other competitors? In the lubricants and paint segments, the question is how are we differentiating ourselves in paint and lubrications versus other players? Can you share some thoughts on how we are building these segments for the long term? And what is the addressable market we intend to target? I think somebody touched upon the engineering segment. It was a strong year. How sustainable is that? That will be helpful. Uh, in the mall, we have stated that we expect increasing competition. So how are we positioning ourselves given that some of the existing tenants will move to newer competitors? So what is now our new target market? And what are we thinking in terms of capital allocation in the mall? In which areas do we intend to spend? Are we looking at footprint expansion or remodeling the mall? And there is additional space around the mall. Are we planning to take advantage of any additional space? And there were some local requirements on DP status, DP road. What is the status of that? Just broad questions. We have multiple businesses. Which business segments do we expect or we are most optimistic in the next 3 to 5 years? And in terms of capital allocation, how are we deciding capital allocation in various businesses? Do we look at a minimum return threshold or look at the size of opportunity or immediacy of return? And just one more point on dividend allocation, your thoughts will be helpful because not necessarily a dividend shared would be better for, I think, a lot of shareholders. And lastly, in aggregate, what is the capital expenditure plan we have for FY25 and 26? Will appreciate your responses and wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sharma. Thank you. Please unmute Mr. Aspi Besania. Is Mr. Besania there? Should we move on? Okay. Since Mr. Besania is not there, so please unmute Mr. Bharat Negandhi. Mr. Bharat Negandhi, maybe please to be unmuted, please. No. Mr. Bharat Shah has joined. Okay, so we can unmute him, then we can go back to Mr. Bharat Shah.
हेलो
Hello, is that Mr.
हाँ जी सर आवाज आ रही है हमारी
हाँ जी, आ रही है आपकी आवाज. हाँ जी.
थैंक यू सो
स्मिता
मच
बहन बोल रहे हैं, मिसेस स्मिता शाह.
हाँ जी हाँ जी सर
हाँ जी, बोलिए.
आप सर
हाँ जी.
हाँ जी सर माननीय चेयरमैन साहब श्री मोरे जी तथा सभी उपस्थित माननीय डायरेक्टर सर आप सभी को मेरा स्मिता शाह का सादर प्रणाम. और चेयरमैन साहब पहले तो मैं कंपनी सेक्रेटरी मिस्टर चिंतन को मैं सालों से मैं वेरी गुड इन्वेस्टर सर्विस देने के लिए मैं चिंतन का आभार व्यक्त करती हूँ. बहुत ही अच्छी उम्दा सर्विस दे रहे हैं और हमारी कोई भी क्वेरी है तो ऑलवेज हमारा फोन उठाकर हमारे क्वेरी सॉल्व करते हैं. और आज भी हमें जो आपके साथ बात करने का मौका दिया तो मैं वेरी गुड इन्वेस्टर सर्विस की मैं सराहना करते हुए मिस्टर चिंतन जी को मैं बहुत बहुत दिल से धन्यवाद और शुभकामना करती हूँ. और चेयरमैन साहब आपको मैं अभिनंदन देते हुए कहूंगी कि आज आपने आपकी लाजवाब लीडरशिप ने कंपनी को न्यूट्रली चला रहे हो और आपके साथ पूरी बोर्ड टीम सभी का सहयोग और हमारे सीएफओसी हार्ड वर्कर हमारे सी मिस्टर गुलाटी जी बहुत ही हमेशा कंपनी के लिए हमेशा मेहनत और हार्ड वर्क करे हैं तो उनका भी सहयोग ऑलवेज आपके साथ रहा है. और छोटे बड़े एम्प्लॉय उन सभी का भी हार्ड वर्क आज आपके साथ है. आज कंपनी है तो हम सबका विकास तो हम भी
साथ जुड़े रहे हैं और आज भी हम वीसी माध्यम से आज आपसे बात कर रहे हैं, तो मेरा आज के सभी रिजोल्यूशन में फुल्ली स्ट्रांगली सपोर्ट करती हूँ और मेरी दिल की शुभभावना के साथ मैं आपको शुभकामना करती हूँ कि हर सुबह का उजाला आपके साथ हो, हर पल पल की सारी खुशी आपके पास हो, आप सदा स्वस्थ रहे, मस्त रहे, प्रसन्नचित रहे और सफलता के साथ आगे बढ़ते रहे। बस यही मेरी शुभकामनाएं सदा आपको एक शेयर होल्डर बैंक के नाते मेरा आशीर्वाद भी सदा आपके साथ बना रहे और मेरी ईश्वर के साथ प्रार्थना है आप सदा गुड हेल्थ के साथ आगे बढ़ते रहे और आने वाले सभी तरह की शुभकामना करते हुए स्ट्रांगली सपोर्ट करती हूँ। और चेयरमैन साहब, मेरी एक हम्बल रिक्वेस्ट है, सर बन सके तो नेक्स्ट ईयर की एजीएम आप फिजिकल करिए या तो एक छोटा गेट टुगेदर करिए, ताकि हमारी भावना है कि आपको हम रूबरू मिल सके। तो आपको हमारा रूबरू मिलने के लिए हमको भी मौका मिलेगा और आप हमारा सौभाग्य बन पाएगा कि हम भी आपके दर्शन कर पाएंगे। तो सर आप जरूर मेरी हम्बल रिक्वेस्ट मान्य कर नेक्स्ट ईयर फिजिकल एजीएम करने की कृपा करें। बाकी तो बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद चेयरमैन साहब, आज आपने हमें जो शांति से सुना और बात करने का मौका दिया, तो बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद और मेरा स्ट्रांगली सपोर्ट सभी रिजोल्यूशन में। और सर चालू रखिए, फरज साहब बात करते हैं।
माननीय चेयरमैन एमडी सर श्री मोरे सर जी और अन्य मान्यवर डायरेक्टर, सर मेरा नाम भरत सर, मैं सर इश्यू टाइम से आपका शेयर होल्डर रहा हूँ और टाइम से मीटिंग अटेंड करता हूँ सर। बहुत न्यूट्रली आप जो कंपनी चला रहे हो, हमेशा अच्छा रिटर्न दिया है सर आपने और हमेशा तटस्थता से कंपनी चल रही है, हमेशा शेयर होल्डर का हित को ख्याल रख के कंपनी चल रही है। तो मैं बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद अभिनंदन देता हूँ। ऐसा ही कंपनी उन्नति करे, बहुत आगे बढ़े, टॉप पर जाए, मेरी भगवान ईश्वर को हृदय पूर्वक प्रार्थना है सर। सर 5 इयर्स के फ्यूचर प्रोग्राम जरूर बताना सर। और सर मैं बोनस के लिए भी रिक्वेस्ट करता हूँ कि आने वाले साल में बोनस हो सके तो जरूर देना, और लास्ट बोनस कभी दिया था ना तो सर बताना जरूर। और सर सारे अवार्ड्स के लिए भी धन्यवाद और सीएसआर एक्टिविटी भी अच्छी चल रही है, तो मैं बहुत धन्यवाद अभिनंदन देता हूँ सर। और सर फैक्ट्री विजिट करे भी बहुत टाइम हो गया, 1 साल हो सके तो पॉसिबल है तो जरूर फैक्ट्री विजिट कराने की मेरी रिक्वेस्ट है। और फैक्ट्री विजिट में सर आप भी हमारे साथ रहिए, तो अपना रूबरू इतना 5 साल से नहीं मिले तो अपन मिल सके। और सर फेस टू फेस भी नेक्स्ट मीटिंग रखी है तो अपन 5 साल से नहीं मिले तो मिल सकेंगे सर। और आपकी हेल्थ वेल्थ अच्छी रहे आप। और सर कंपनी सेक्रेटरी चिंतन और उनकी पूरी सीएस टीम को मैं बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूँ। हार्ड वर्किंग लड़का है चिंतन, हमेशा शेयर होल्डर को रिस्पेक्ट देता है, शेयर होल्डर की क्वेरी सोल्व करता है, बेस्ट इन्वेस्टर सर्विस है, तो मैं पूरी टीम को धन्यवाद देता हूँ। साथ में अपने गुलाटी जी सीएफओ की भी मैं बहुत प्रशंसा करता हूँ कि वो भी बहुत अच्छी सर्विस दे रहे हैं, तो उनको भी मैं धन्यवाद अभिनंदन देता हूँ सर। और आपकी हेल्थ वेल्थ अच्छी रहे, अपनी कंपनी बढ़िया तरक्की करे, मेरी भगवान ईश्वर को प्रार्थना है सर। सारे रिजर्वेशन में मेरा पूरा सपोर्ट है सर। थैंक यू वेरी मच सर। जय हिंद, जय श्री कृष्ण सर, जय श्री कृष्ण सर। थैंक यू वेरी मच सर, थैंक यू।
Thank you, Shah Saab. Now, please unmute Ms. Swechha Jain. I think she has joined. Hello.
Yeah. Hi, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, you are, Ms. Jain. Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Hi, sir. Thank you for giving this opportunity. Sir, I have a couple of questions. So first, my question is on the product side. So if you could help me understand, in the electroplating side and, typically what kind of chemicals are typically used in the electroplating side, and also in the lubricant and the industrial paint side, what are the key products that we sell, in all the three categories. First is that, just wanted to understand a little bit more in depth about our products. And also, so wanted to understand the market opportunity in terms of revenue for the electroplating chemicals, especially with respect to the newer areas and the sunrise sectors and the opportunities that you mentioned in your opening remark. And also some thoughts about, how do we plan to capture this opportunity? Like what markets do we plan to enter to begin with? What would be our distribution model? And, some thoughts or some plan as to how do we plan to capture this opportunity for our company. And also, if you could help me understand, what typically are the margins for the chemical, paint, and the lubricant segment separately within the surface finishing division. How the margins have been for us over the last 2 or 3 years, and what kind of who are our key competitors, especially on the electroplating side of our business. What typically is our manufacturing capacity, and what are the current utilization levels. And I believe we would be working on an order book kind of a system. So if you could help me understand, what is our current order book segment wise, and typically what is the execution timeline for us. So then now coming to the engineering business, we've seen a 48% kind of a growth on a YOY basis. So wanted to understand, in the engineering services, what kind of typical work are we doing, and where the growth has typically come in the engineering division. Who are our typical clients? And you did mention about, water treatment, and even in the annual report, we've mentioned about that. So exactly what kind of engineering work we are doing, especially for the water treatment and the sewage treatment side. And is there any order book for us on the water treatment and the sewage treatment kind of work for us? And so also I wanted to understand that do we have any repeat business in our engineering division? Because I think 40%, more than 40% of our revenue was from our new customers. So I believe we must be having some kind of repeat business also. And so also wanted to understand, I think we have a freehold land. So just wanted to understand, do we have any plans of monetizing this land? So these are my basic few questions, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ms. Jain. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. May we have Mr. Gautam Tiwari unmuted? Mr. Tiwari, are you there? Hello, Mr. Tiwari.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can listen me, I think.
हाँ, we can hear you.
अभी
Yes.
अनम्यूट किया सर, मुझे मॉडरेटर ने अभी अनम्यूट किया.
Okay, okay.
अदरवाइज अनम्यूट नहीं हो रहा था, मैं अभी अनम्यूट किया.
हाँ जी.
Thank you very much, sir. And my
I think the activity issue. अपनी या उनके? अपने ठीक है. Okay. Okay. We'll come back to him.
sir, sir,
Mr. Tiwari.
Sir, Gautam Tiwari is here. I will not start my camera, नहीं तो unmute हो जाता है. Now you can listen me, no, sir?
हाँ जी, you are audible. हाँ जी.
Okay, sir, मैं कैमरा स्टार्ट नहीं कर रहा हूँ क्योंकि नहीं तो ऑडियो चला जाता है. Anyway, sir, I'm very happy, first of all, sir. A very, very special good afternoon, good afternoon, sir. Our honorable chairman, sir, Shri Umesh Moreji. Sir, हम लोग right from inception we have been there with you, sir. मुझे आपको अच्छी तरीके से याद होगा the way we have been conducting our meeting physically also. Our MD Neeraj More, Gurinder Gulati, our CS very dynamic, efficient and young evergreen चिंतन गांधी और उनके एसोसिएट शीतल जी, पायल जी, सब कुछ हैं और अपने सेक्रेटरियल डिपार्टमेंट में एंड अदर एमिनेंट डायरेक्टर्स, लर्नेड डायरेक्टर्स, highly qualified directors, myself Gautam Tiwari, and I am speaking from Mumbai. Sir, Chairman, sir, I would like to thank especially our entire management team for delivering outstanding performance despite lot many difficulties, disrupting supply chain and so many other uneasy geopolitical condition, slowdown in global economy, इसराइली लेबनान वॉर वगैरह, ये सारी कंडीशन के बावजूद भी इन सब कंडीशन पर आपने चैलेंजिंग कंडीशन पर मात करके आपने बहुत अच्छी कंपनी को दिशा और बताई हुई है और हमेशा शेयर होल्डर को प्रॉफिट में रखा है। इसके लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर। सर, आई थैंक ईच मेंबर ऑफ द CSR टीम फॉर देयर बेस्ट CSR एक्टिविटीज. Sir, our secretarial team, as far as our secretarial team is concerned, sir, which is headed by our very young, dynamic, evergreen, soft-spoken बॉय चिंतन, जिसके लिए हमारे बहुत बहुत आशीर्वाद हैं, और हमारी शीतल जी जो उनको असिस्ट कर रही हैं, और भी जो भी सेक्रेटरी डिपार्टमेंट में बहुत इतनी अच्छी सर्विस देते हैं कि अपने आप में एक्सेप्शनली आउटस्टैंडिंग है एंड रियली हमारे नेशनल लेवल पे एटलीस्ट टॉप 30 में जरूर आते हैं। तो इसके लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर, इतनी अच्छी सेक्रेटरी टीम रखने के लिए। बहुत अच्छी बैलेंस शीट बने सर। इस बार बैलेंस शीट समहाउ आई डिड नॉट गेट, प्लीज सेंड मी द बैलेंस शीट, फिजिकल बैलेंस शीट सर। और बाकी उनकी सर्विस इतनी लाजवाब है। ऑल आवर कॉल्स आर आंसर्ड इंस्टेंटली, प्लेजरेबली एंड सेटिस्फैक्टरीली। बहुत रिस्पेक्ट और विद गुड हॉस्पिटलिटी वी आर ट्रीटेड ऑल शेयर होल्डर्स, फॉर विच हम आपके बहुत बहुत आभारी है सर। Sir, I thank the management for various awards. Rather, I congratulate the management for winning various awards and accolades time and again. Dear sir, Gurundwell has always worked, हाँ sir, keeping in mind the interest of minority shareholders. और हर बार आपने जैसे ही मौका मिला आपने शेयर होल्डर को हमेशा रिवॉर्ड किया है, हमेशा उनको खुश रखा है और हर तरीके से उनकी मदद की हुई है और उन्हें आशान्वित करके लाभान्वित भी किया है। इसके लिए सर बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। सर, in order to understand little bit about company's appreciation, I would like to know some 2-3 things which are as under. Sir, individual and consolidated capacity utilization of each plant हमारा आज की तारीख में क्या है? सर, आपने बहुत अच्छी इन्वेस्टर बहुत अच्छी इंट्रोडक्टरी स्पीच दी, जिससे कंपनी की हालत के बारे में, कंपनी के वर्किंग के बारे में, प्रेजेंट पोजीशन के बारे में हमें मालूमात हुई। इसके लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर। सेकेंडली, व्हाट इज द रेट ऑफ एट्रिशन ऑफ आवर एम्प्लॉइज सर एट टॉप लेवल एंड एट बॉटम लेवल? सर, इस बार हम लोगों ने कितना अनक्लेम्ड डिविडेंड और कितने अनक्लेम्ड शेयर्स ट्रांसफर किए हैं IEPF को और इन्वेस्टर प्रोटेक्शन फंड को? इफ यू कैन गिव मी द फिगर, otherwise you can give, tell me afterwards also sir. And what is the strength of our overall strength of our employees sir, with male female ratio therein? सर, आजकल बहुत सारी कंपनी आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, इंटरनल ग्रीन एनर्जी को एम्प्लॉय कर रही हैं अपने कंपनी के फायदे के लिए। तो हम किस तरीके से इनका उपयोग करें अपनी कंपनी को लाभ पहुंचाने के लिए? और तो सर, जहाँ पे ट्रस्ट होता है, जहाँ पे बहुत अपना कॉन्फिडेंस होता है, ट्रस्ट होता है, फेथ होता है, वहाँ पे कोई सवाल नहीं किया जाता। इसके लिए और कोई भी सवाल नहीं है सर। कंक्लूसिवली आई वुड लाइक टू से सर कि I support appointments and reappointments of all directors. I also support very strongly all resolutions, since we have been attached with you, our whole family, right from day one. Sir, we have got total trust and confidence in the management. मोरे sir, आप सब लोगों के मैनेजमेंट लाजवाब है। इसके लिए और लाइफ टाइम सपोर्ट इज ऑलवेज assured along with you. And sir, I wish for each and every member a healthy, wealthy, long, safe life ahead, along with compliments for the upcoming Dussehra, Diwali, future festivals, Navratri festival, and bright future under your super fine management. Sir, अभी बारिश का मौसम है, बहुत अच्छी बारिश की बौछार है। तो I would like to say one thing, if you permit me, sir, कि फूलों की खुशबू, मौसम की ये बहार, कलियों की बौछार, कलियों की भी बहार और मौसम की ये बौछार, सर, परम ईश्वर परमात्मा आप सभी को दें सफलताएं अपरंपार, बार बार, लगातार। आप सभी रहें सदा सर्वदा फिट और साल का हर एक दिन आप में से हर एक के लिए आने वाला हर एक दिन हो सुपर हिट। और सर, बाद में फूलों की खुशबू, कलियों की बहार, हम सभी का आप सभी को बहुत सारा प्यार अपरंपार। सर, मुबारक हो आप में से हर एक को आने वाले सभी त्योहार। इन सभी के साथ में आई विश यू ऑल द बेस्ट। अगर हो सके तो फैक्ट्री विजिट जरूर रखिएगा सर। एंड वी आर वेरी हैप्पी शेयर होल्डर्स अलॉन्ग विथ यू and we promise that we will always be there with you till we stay on the earth और उसके बाद में भी sir. Once again, you can see my video. Thank you very much for patient listening. Once again, thank you and namaste to moderator and everybody else who has been supporting us. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Tiwari. Thank you. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद.
Thank you, sir.
Moderator, please unmute Mr. Manshu Upadhyay. Moderator, may please unmute Mr. Manshu Upadhyay. Okay, so we may move on. Please unmute Mr. Chandulal Kiran. Mr. Chandulal Kiran. Mr. Kiran is not there, then please unmute Mr. Rajendra Sheth. Is Mr. Sheth there? Ah, yes. Yes.
हेलो हाँ हेलो
हाँ जी, Mr. Sheth.
अभी अभी अनम्यूट हुआ चेयरमैन सर, मैनेजमेंट टीम, शेयर होल्डर भाइयों, मैं राजेंद्र शेठ थाना महाराष्ट्र से बोलता हूँ। चेयरमैन सर, मैं दिल से धन्यवाद देता हूँ। सुपर रिजल्ट और अच्छा डिविडेंड, मैनेजमेंट को बहुत बहुत मैं धन्यवाद देता हूँ और सेक्रेटरी टीम का भी बहुत ही बढ़िया उत्तम काम रहा है टाइम पे हमको डिटेल के साथ बैलेंस शीट में। सर खाली दो तीन ही छोटा क्वेश्चन था। एक तो हम AI आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस का सेवा फ्यूचर में लेंगे क्या? कि हमारे तो बहुत ही सारे क्षेत्रों में हम काम कर रहे हैं, तो हम आप फ्यूचर में आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस की सेवा लेंगे किस तरह, वो जरा वो तो बताइए। बाकी हमारा रेवेन्यू ग्रोथ बढ़ाने के लिए और क्या आप करेंगे वो बताइए। तो सर हमारा मेन मतलब अभी जो बजट हुआ गया उसमें गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से जो मतलब वो बताया गया उसको हमारे कंपनी को कोई बाकी चेयरमैन सर आपके लीडरशिप में पूरा विश्वास है, अब रिजोल्यूशन में पूरा सपोर्ट और आर्थिक सिचुएशन। और सर खाली एक ही छोटा सा श्लोक बोल के मैं मेरी वाणी को विराम करूंगा। या देवी सर्वभूतेषु शांति रूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः। बोलने का मौका दिया, धन्यवाद। फिर से बोलता हूँ चेयरमैन साहब, आपकी लीडरशिप में कंपनी और आगे बढ़े, यही ईश्वर से प्रार्थना। थैंक यू सर।
थैंक यू जी, थैंक यू, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। थैंक यू। Moderator, please move on to Mr. Saket Kapoor. You may please unmute Mr. Saket Kapoor. Mr. Saket Kapoor may be unmuted, please. Has Mr. Kapoor connected? Okay.
Sir, yeah, I'm there, sir.
Yes. Yes.
Sir, first, thank you, sir, for this opportunity. And sorry, sir, I'm not keeping well, so I missed your earlier comment in the introductory part. Sir, whether this recording would be available, then I would be hearing. Otherwise, I would be missing the opening remarks, which one of the shareholders did alluded to, that you have elaborated a lot about the performance and going ahead also. But my mood points were, sir. Firstly, sir, if you could just give us some understanding how well are we placed to encash the growth phase which the country has embarked on going ahead. in all the two categories of surface finishing and the engineering. Although your annual reports did speak about the same, but on the performance of the company for the first quarter, we find that the surface finishing segment has there is a significant increase in margins. So what should investor look in terms of the sustainable set of numbers, especially for the surface finishing segment? And also similarly for the engineering part, if you could just give some more color on how things are shaping up going ahead in terms of order booking, and also what kind of capacity augmentation are we going through in the current year, and going ahead, what are the capex outlined for the current 2 years financial year? And sir, lastly, last AGM, sir, you did spoke about we working with EV, also electric vehicles segment also going ahead in terms of one of our segment attributing to it. So if you could just outline where are we in terms of the EV story, how are we going to benefit from the same? And sir, I last time also requested for opening up forum for the investing community through press release and con call. So barring this, sir, this is the only this annual report, the annual document, and this annual general meeting, for which I would like to cordially thank Mr. Chintan for giving me the opportunity, although I joined late. But he took the pain and allow me, so my special thanks to him. But sir, please look into the merits of creating an interaction platform where the decimation can be there can be proper decimation to all this set of investors whoever are interested in the global story. So please provide us with a platform, sir. These are my only few points, sir, and I wish the best to the companies are going ahead.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kapoor. Thank you. Moderator, may please unmute Mr. Kamraj Manikandan. Mr. Kamraj Manikandan, please. Yes.
Yeah. Good evening, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, Mr. Kamraj, you're audible. Please.
Yes. First of all, good evening to the entire board of directors and management. Sir, just 4-5 questions from my side. So it would be great if you can answer it one by one, since we get this only one opportunity in the AGM to address the management. So first on the FY24, some clarifications. In the core surface finishing business, in the initial remarks, you mentioned that during the last year, we have done some consolidation work that has resulted in the lower growth versus the industry. So if you can just explain what are the actions that we undertook in the last year that led to lower growth in the surface finishing in FY24. Second question related to the surface finishing. So in the last AGM also, our chairman mentioned that we are looking at semiconductor, EV, and renewables as the three core areas. So if you can just explain what is the total addressable market of these three emerging areas versus the existing market size. Suppose if the current total addressable market is like 4,000, 5,000 crores. So with the emerging new sectors, what could be the company's total addressable market of the surface finishing part? So that would be great in analyzing the future prospects of the company. And so next question is that, so what could be our revenue share from the automotive sector? So is it the major share, or if you can just provide some quantitative data, it will be helpful. And so going to the engineering segment, I think it's great that you have seen a very good growth on the engineering part. And if you can share some insights into what led to this rubber coat, and what are we doing from the company side that's resulting in this good growth versus overall industry. And just on the last question from my side is that over the last 2 decades also, I think the company's core business has grown at a very healthy run rate, and we have seen even on the margin side also, we have been pretty much stable versus the other capital goods player. So going forward, if you can provide some aspiration, what the management has in terms of revenue growth and for the next 3 to 5 years, what are you planning to achieve? That will be very helpful. And just also on the capital allocation strategy. So are we planning to change the dividend payout ratio, or are we looking at any both on the organic and inorganic side, any new opportunities are we looking at? That will be helpful. That's my last question, sir, and thanks for the opportunity, and all the best to the entire team for the current financial year.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Manigan.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moderator, kindly unmute Mr. Vinay Bhide. Vinay Vishnu Bhide may be unmuted, please.
Hello, are you able to hear me?
Yes, Mr. Bhide, आपकी आवाज सुन रही है, please.
Yes, good evening, sir. Good evening, sir. I'll do one, safe thing. I will not unmute the video now, and I'll quickly start speaking because you must have, heard a lot of speakers as I've joined in the earlier meeting. Let me, quickly, touch upon a few points. Chairman, Mr. Umesh Kumar More, Mr. Neeraj Kumar and Mr. Rohit Kumar More, other directors present at today's AGM, company executives, fellow shareholders, a good evening to all of you. As already mentioned, I am Vinay Vishnu Bhide and I'm a shareholder speaking from Mumbai. At the outset, let me, make a couple of, quick observations. I must say that, the performance of our company for the 2 concluded financial years, has been steady on both, the standalone as well as the consolidated working. So please accept compliments because, in view of, the diverse, sectors that we serve, I think, we have done a pretty big, pretty good job. Now, having, said this, I have noted that, the standalone and the consolidated working for the past 2 years have been in the range of, let us say 975 to 1050 crores, and the profits have been, let us say, between 110 to 145 crores or so. So that is that is why, I mentioned that, we are a steady working. Quickly down, to the
Hello.
Yes.
Yes, come.
So I believe, these are part of our equipment business. So this being so, these 3 sectors which I mentioned, I'm repeating, effluent treatment, wastewater and recirculation procedures. I believe, these have got a lot of, let us say, scope, in the recent years. So what has been our company's experience, as as queried by the other speakers, that was point 1. Point number 2 is that, it's a very, customary in the recent times for people to speak about, electronic manufacturing services and printed circuit boards also. So what is, the, the prospects or the current business that we see on the electronic manufacturing services and the PCBs? So that was question number 2. And, I think, we should also be, looking at either the, the users of, or the end suppliers of, railway, defense and space. 3 sectors, railways, defense and space. And I don't know whether we have approached, some of, the manufacturers directly or, some of them. But I could just, give you one small name to know from the railway. They may already be our customer, but because I know this company, it's a Calcutta-based company by name Jupiter Wagons. So they are really doing well in components as well as wagons and, a lot of local and exports. So in case we don't have them, on our customer list, I suggest, that we get in touch with them and see, if we can, propose our products. That is one suggestion part of it. Well, on the query part of it, I must also mention that, I didn't go through the annual report, but I did very patiently, and very carefully hear, your speech at the start of the meeting. And I must say that you have, left no stone unturned. It is a well-drafted speech and it leaves very little room, to ask for questions. Though this may be so, I've got one question, and one suggestion for you. I'll quickly list it out. The first question is that what is the capex and the opex spends that we have done in 23-24 for information technology and digital, and what is our capex plan for the current financial year? And the suggestion that I have for you is that I have noted that lots of our shareholders have shown interest to register, but have not been able to speak. So in case we have closed our accounts much earlier than holding this AGM, I suggest we substantially prepone our AGM so that then all of them can participate with free, because we are almost towards the end of the statutory period. And I will just see if the video is coming on, and I will close with best wishes to the entire director board and the employees. And just in passing, I will make one mention. I have already contacted Mr. Chintan Gandhi on one of the principles, leading Indian principles which I represent, for one of the possibilities which you can consider as a vendor. I suppose he must have forwarded that to the concerned department. But I suggest that you also take a look at that, because this will aid in the efficiency aspects and the throughput aspects of our company. I support all the resolutions. I really thank you for giving me an opportunity to speak, sir. All the best, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bide. Thank you. Thank you. May I request the moderator to now unmute Mr. Amit Doshi. Mr. Amit Naveen Doshi may be unmuted, please. Okay, then please unmute Mr. Aniket Nikumb. Yes.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, Mr. Nikumb, you're audible. Please go on.
Yes. Hi, sir. Thanks for the opportunity. I have three key things to mention. Many of my questions, I think previous speakers have asked. But I think it will be helpful for the members of this company to hear from you what your vision is for each of the segments, and specifically for surface paints over the next 2-3 years, and how you see how you see a little bit more quantitatively where these businesses can go as you think about the cash reserves we have and so on, and where you want to invest. I think the second question I had was if you can talk a little bit specifically about the real estate mall that we have, and what are we planning to do, if possible, in terms of either expansion because of FSI, or if you can even cover a little bit around the metrics around that business, right? What is the average rent you get per square feet? What's the escalation? What's the time? Many other companies report some of these in some level of detail, so it will be helpful for us. And I think third, again, a previous speaker covered, it'll be helpful if you can also please consider maybe doing a conference call or putting an investor presentation at a quarterly basis. As you can imagine, if you look at our own margins that we report in, say, surface paints, right? They've gone from 15 to 28 last quarter. So, they move around. So it will be helpful for the members also to understand what is going on, and, be able to appreciate the going abouts of this company. Thanks again for taking the time and for this opportunity.
Thank you so much, Mr. Nikumb. Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else joining? No, so is there anyone? Okay. So with this, I think we can move on. Thank you to all our shareholders for all the questions and for sharing your views. Now our management team will address to all the queries that you all have raised, and I'd request our Mr. Yogesh Samath to please talk on the operations. Yeah.
Yes, good afternoon, all the dear shareholders. I have made a listing of some of the questions that were raised. There were several overlaps of questions, and to the best of our ability, we'll try and answer them. For those whose questions are not, you feel they have not been fully answered, you please feel free to write to us and we will send you the answers separately as well. Before I move on to answering all these questions, and I will not go in any particular order because there were several questions which are actually overlapping. Before I move on to it, there's one shareholder, Svecha Jain, who's raised a number of questions which are to do with our product profile, market opportunity, margin profile, key competitors, and the kind of business we are in, the kind of engineering works that we do. My request to her, because for paucity of time, it'll be a lot of ground to cover in the AGM. My request to her would be that if you go to our website, it contains all this information, and then once you have been able to scrutinize it to some adequate depth, if you have further queries on it, please raise it with us, because then we'll be very happy to answer the questions as well. But essentially, they are basic questions about what our business profile is. So I will be very happy to address them at a later stage. As far as the other questions are concerned, I think I will answer them now. I do appreciate Mr. Vinay Bhide's suggestion that we contact Jupiter Wagons. I'll check if they're already a customer of ours or not. But I thank you so much for it, and we certainly will do that. I'll now proceed to answer the questions in no particular order, but in case you feel there is anything left out, please let us know. So one of the questions that was raised has been raised consistently is what is going to be our focus, which is what is going to be the key growth areas for the company. And the answer to that is essentially has been captured by Mr. Neeraj Moore, our Managing Director, in his address. They are, in case of chemicals, as he has mentioned, FEC, functional electronics, PCBs, renewables, which is essentially solar and wind, and electric vehicle. We already serve the automobile sector, and we are also beginning to now participate in the movement towards electric vehicles. So that continues to be a prime focus for us, as we spoke about it last year as well. Newer technologies in surface finishing like anodizing, electrolysis nickel, and lacquers are now areas we are entering. For lubricants, we have continued our mainstay, which has been always our focus, which is rust preventive oils, metalworking fluids, which is essentially used for metal machining, and deformation, which is wire and stamping oils. In case of paints, we are strong and we have focus in underwater marine paints, in pharma and food grade paints, as well as paints for transportation, which is essentially high-speed rails and metros. Then we have our presence, a reasonable presence in aerospace as well, and paints for infrastructure. In case of engineering, I think a lot of references were made during the questions about water treatment. Yes, we have strong presence in the water treatment, effluent treatment business, steel picketing, and electronics. The second question that that came up time and again was, how do we understand the addressable opportunity in surface finishing? And one of the questions that came to us over mail was, as the per capita income of the country rises, does surface finishing market grow disproportionately versus the GDP growth rate? So the answer to that question essentially is that actually even today we are at the infancy stage of surface treatment in many parts of this industry, especially in the areas where technologies are now evolving. And as the GDP of the country increases, the surface treatment consumption goes up disproportionately. So the answer is yes, it does. There is still a big gap in chemical surface finishing. We expect the growth to be higher. And so also in industries, in paints as well as lubricants. To a reasonable extent, therefore, this market will continue to grow disproportionately, and we expect better sales growth than the GDP of the country. Do we intend to, how do we see our competitive position? Do we intend to, what is our market share? And how do we sense our competition over the next 3 to 5 years? I think there are several newer and very interesting opportunities emerging, which have been referred to in the past, and we continue to pursue them because we do expect that they will be fairly productive for us in time to come. Therefore, our market share, even if it were to remain static, would lead to a substantial increase in sales, because the market itself is expected to increase substantially in the next 3 to 5 years. So I wouldn't be worried about market share as much as ensuring that our sales growth continue to be robust. There were some questions regarding the competitive scenario in each of the segments that we are present in. I'm now referring to the surface finishing, paints, lubricants, and in chemicals. We have 6 or 7 large competitors. We are the larger ones. We are the largest ones in chemicals, but in paints and lubricants, we are not the largest. In each of them, there are 6 or 7 large competitors. They have largely remained the same over the years, barring in case of paints, which has seen the entry of a couple of very large players in the decorative segment. But some of you may not be aware that we don't have a very substantial presence in the decorative segment. We are largely focusing our business in the industrial segments of the paints business. The question that came a couple of times today as well was, what is the percentage of contribution of automotive industry to our business? Yes, in case of chemicals, we do have a contribution. But if you take the entire turnover of the organization, the automobile sector contributes to about 35 to 40% of our business and not more. Over time, actually, more and more opportunities for surface finishing are emerging, which are not limited to automotive sector. There was one interesting question that came from one of the shareholders, which was a shift from functional to aesthetic. Is there a shift from functional to aesthetic in terms of chemicals? And we would like to say that actually, on the contrary, there is a definite shift from aesthetics to functional in the use of chemicals, especially in the automotive sector, because electroplating per se is more expensive, and there is a trend towards moving to significantly cheaper alternatives such as paints and CED coating. Electroplating consumption is largely focusing on corrosion protection, friction modulation, and delivering superior functional performance in auto components these days. And therefore, functional consumption in electroplating actually has risen and will continue to rise even in the other industrial segments of the country. Is it possible to split the surface finishing business in chemicals, lubricants, and paints? I think that has already been given by our chairman, by our managing director during his talk. There were a couple of questions in the engineering division business, which I would request Mr. Rohit Moore to answer.
Good evening, shareholders, and thank you for joining us for this AGM today. As already covered in our managing director's speech at the beginning, he gave a broad idea of what we do in our engineering business. But there were some specific questions about the growth of the business, especially because of the 48% growth last year. I'm happy to say that we look forward to growth this year also. And a lot of this is driven by the macroeconomic situation in the country and the policies of the government, which are encouraging investments from different companies in the newer sectors, which are entering India, taking advantage of the opportunities which the China challenges are throwing up. Looking at those opportunities, I think so we do see growth in engineering to continue for a few more years ahead of us, as long as these kind of capital investments continue to happen in the country. On the effluent treatment and wastewater treatment, there were some questions raised in that area, and where the margins are higher. The margins are more or less equal, whether it is in the plating plants or the equipments for effluent or wastewater treatment, because the company follows certain standard guidelines when they are executing projects for across all the engineering projects that we undertake. We do see increasing opportunities in effluent treatment and waste treatment because of more stringent norms coming as far as pollution control is concerned. And we do look forward to increase revenues coming in from those sectors going forward, and are investing more time and effort to look at growing those sectors also. Just like in chemicals, we are also focusing on taking advantage of some of the newer opportunities in PCB as well as semiconductor, and we are working on developing some of the newer technologies, focus of our company in those areas. And possibly in the future, as these industries grow in India, we'll be able to share more information about the same. Thank you.
Thank you, Rohit. May I now invite our CFO, Mr. Gulati, to address the finance-related questions that were raised by our shareholders. So, Mr. Gulati may.
Ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome to all of you. My name is Gurinder Gulati, and I will be now taking up the question on the financial statements because the business is extensively covered already. I will begin with the question. There was a question on the split between the chemical and paints in the surface finishing segment, both in terms of the revenues and in terms of the profitability. The split is around 57 to 41%, and the profitability in chemicals is definitely high as compared to the paints business. There was also a question on the capex plan. We have a capex plan of around 150 to 160 crores over a period of next 2 years. We are setting up an additional chemical manufacturing unit at Jammu with a total expenditure of 50 to 60 crores. We are building this capacity ahead of our demand curve for the niche products. We are also setting up, as Chairman and the Managing Director have already covered, we are also setting up the Global Tech Center, which will involve the investment of nearly 60 to 65 crores. We have an investment plan of 10 crores, and which is already underway for setting up a lab and Northern Regional Office in Noida. There are some investments also in paints and engineering, which are the minor investments. But of course, in 2026, there is a plan to have another investment if the demand continues to grow in the paint segment for the paints business. So shopping mall, at the moment, the investment plans are under discussion. There was another question relating to cash and the investments. So our total cash holding as per the shareholders and as per the balance sheet is around 500 crores in terms of cash and cash equivalents, and we are having a cash profit of 150 crores. So this is primarily there to finance our capex expenditure, which I have already elaborated. It is around 150 to 170 crores over a period of next 2 years. We have limited scope of our investments over there in our traditional line of business. But the company at the same time is looking for these sunrise segments, which Mr. Neeraj Moore has already covered in his speech, like semicon, renewable energies and accumulator, etc., which has the synergies with our core business. So there will also be investment required at opportunity time at that. So that cash will be used probably at that time as well. The company is also open to all the inorganic investment opportunities in engineering or chemical whenever they are coming up. They comes up. There was another question, one of the shareholders, regarding the outstandings for more than 6 months. But I believe the question was on receivables, but the schedule which has been attached in the question was for the payables. So I just wanted to correct. I understand that probably the question was limited to the receivables, not to the payables. So here I would like to explain first that our general credit policy in the chemical, which constitute the significant part of our total business, is largely risk-free. And the sales are made through distributors where the payment are done either at the time of dispatch or normally they are in time. Secondly, I would also like to state that our bad debts as a percentage of our total sales is nearly 0.5%. So which is also not very significant. So there is no question in terms of the worry in terms of high outstandings more than 6 months. The paints and engineering business, this type of high outstanding is quite inherent because the business model is like this and the money is also blocked over there for the retentions. Additionally, we have around 12% of our total outstanding for more than 6 months in a service tax matter on the mall lease rentals, which is currently sub judice. Another 12% in the litigation matter where the company believes that they have a strong chance of recovery. So there is no concern in terms of the receivables for more than 6 months. Another question which was there was on dividends. Yes, our profit have doubled over a period of last 4 or 5 years, but the dividend has also increased. Just to share, in 2021, we had 50% dividend. The total cash outflow was 11.3 crores. 21-22, it was 65%. 22-23, it was 80%. And 24-25, it is 50% on the enhanced capital. So the dividend has also increased in absolute value from 11.34 crores in 2021 to 22.6 crores in 24-25. So probably this is the statistics which I would like to share with the people. There was another question relating to time gap in AGM and holding of AGM and signing of accounts. And there was a request that we should close if we close the accounts in May, why we are holding the AGM late. On this question, I would like to state that this year we have there were independent directors which were retiring in the month of May, and there was an appointment of the new independent directors. Therefore, the AGM holding of this AGM was delayed. Otherwise, we have to call another AGM for the appointment of the independent directors as per the SEBI guidelines. So this was the reason this year, and next year probably we will hold and give this information, hold this AGM much before. Another question was relating to the margins of paints and the percentage of paints in surface finishing. It is around 30-31%, and the margins is around also of the same percentage. Average capacity utilization, it is around 35-40% in chemicals and around 45-50% over there in paints. There was another question relating to how many headcounts are there in R&D. On 31st March, it was 74 persons out of the total 950 headcounts. Relating to one question on attrition rate, it is around 18.5% for the financial year 24-25. There was another question relating to the male and female percentage. It was around 88-12% in the year 23-24. Question relating to IPF transfers, 71,800 shares were transferred in this year to IPF account. And for the unclaimed dividend, the amount was 7 lakhs. And for final dividend, unclaimed dividend, it was 3 lakhs. So all in all, 10,96,000 was transferred over there for the unclaimed interim dividend and the final dividend pertaining to the year 2015 and 16. The last question probably was for the IT. The total investment in IT over a period of time is increasing. We have a tech refresh project. Also, we have done a significant investment in software, Salesforce, or the R&D software. So this year, the year under review, we have invested around 2.3 crores in hardware and around 65 lakhs over there in software, which is mentioned in note 5 of the fact sheet. I think I have covered all the questions which was there from the shareholder side on the financial statements.
Thank you, Mr. Gulati. There were some questions asked with regard to the mall segment, which were left unanswered. I'll request Mr. Yogesh Samath to answer those queries.
Thank you. Some of the questions that were related to the real estate on the mall division, I am proceeding to answer them. One of the questions was, what is the current occupancy of the mall? The current occupancy of the mall is 94%. It is unchanged over the previous year, and it is healthy and fairly within the normal range. What is the average lease rental at the mall as things stand today, and what is the escalation expected? The average lease rental is rupees 119 per square foot per month, and we expect normal escalation in this rental over a period of time. Typically, these escalations come between 5 to 7% per year. The third question was, what is the plan for utilization of the available FSI of the mall? What are the potentials of the mall? The approximate FSI is 1 million square feet. Various options are being evaluated, including, but no decision has been taken in this regard for the moment. There was one question raised regarding the nature of the mall, who we are targeting, so on and so forth. So I will quickly elaborate on it. We are a strong neighborhood destination. 85% of our customers come from an immediate catchment of 2 to 3 kilometers. We've done market research which has confirmed that. We cater to the upper middle class of the neighborhood, and we shall continue to target all brands which serve this segment for shopping, entertainment, as well as dining. As far as the mall additions are concerned, which is again something which came up a couple of times in the discussion, for the moment, no such decision has been taken. As I mentioned, we do have available FSI, but for some time we've held that decision, viewing what are the changes in the market, and we'll take a decision in due course. That covers all the questions regarding the mall that were received.
Ladies and gentlemen, please excuse my voice. I have a little bit of problem in my speech, so I hope I can make myself clear in terms of my thoughts. While most of the talk about the company's operations have already been done, and that must have given you a fairly good idea as to what the activities and what the future looks like for our company. But I would still like to pinpoint a few summarized issues, which I think would help all of us to see a little more clearly in terms of where the future can take us. As has been discussed on various occasions, the company is currently into 5 different verticals. That is the electroplating, what we generally call as specialty chemicals. Then we are in paints, we are in lubes, we are in engineering, and we are also in real estate. These are our 5 verticals. We expect that incidentally, in the current scenario, in the conventional working that is happening in all these segments, we expect a growth rate of 15 to 20% depending on segment to segment individually. Having said that, there are certain very interesting opportunities which are available to Groundwell and which, as management, we are trying to encash on. And let me give you a small brief of what these opportunities are. One of them has been certainly very clearly mentioned, that is the emerging technologies. Emerging technologies meaning the semiconductor business, the renewable energy business, and the batteries. These 3 businesses, I'm sure that most of you all must have heard about the way our country plans to grow, and as also supported by our policymakers, our politicians, the whole economy. Incidentally, in all the 3 businesses, metal finishing or surface treatment, more specifically electroplating, has a significant role to play. Until now, this particular business sector was not available to our country. It was being developed more in the Far East Asia, etc. But now, due to the geopolitical situation changing, this situation is coming very fast to India. And Graurenwald is poised to play a very important part, a very important role into these opportunities. And that is what we are vying for. Our management is vying for finding the right path to deal with this. We have already established a new team of people who are looking into the opportunities coming out of business. We are also seeking an appropriate joint venture or a collaborator who will be able to, from whom we'll be able to absorb these technologies much faster rather than starting from A. I think once we have a partner whose products are well established and they are recognized in the field, it will help us to grow much faster. It could add to our opportunities far better. So we are looking in the last 6 months, we have been working very hard to find such a partner to whom we could, with whom we would be linked and we could take opportunity of this growth. The second, the second most important is also our real estate. I think Mr. Kamath just mentioned that we are eligible as per the standard BMC rules right now. We are eligible to an FSI of 1 million square feet, which is a fairly large chunk of business, at least for industrial companies like ours. I'm not talking of the large builders, but for us, this does put in a large opportunity. But nevertheless, there are certain bureaucratic obstacles which have to be overcome, which will take some time. We are working on them. But once that route is available, it can multiply the potential of this company. Whether it will happen again independently for the company alone to take this, to take the entire responsibility, or we should be looking for to partner with a builder, because these could be very large projects. And also in an area which is not our core activity. Real estate is not the core activity of our company. It came up to us due to, it's circumstantial that it came up to us when we owned this property here, a 10-acre property in which we are presently located. So we are also therein looking for a partner who is experienced there in real estate, who can hold hands with us, and we can encash on this opportunity with them. These two are main focuses which we are looking at. The other businesses also hold a good opportunity. One is the paints and the other is oil. And the opportunities in both these businesses arise out of the fact that by itself, both the fields are very large. Our presence is relatively small, and therefore it gives us the chance to grow further. I think in oil, we might be having a 10 or 12% share of the market. So it gives us a tremendous opportunity in paints. In oil, similarly, we are still at a nascent stage. We have a very small share of the total market size. So these are two areas which are synergetical to surface treatment, which is our expertise and which we would like to grow in. But our own share is small, and it can certainly grow, and we see no reason why we cannot grow in that. It's a matter of time before we adapt ourselves to that flow as it is happening in our country and overseas. We are trying in all these markets as well to enter the international scenario. To some extent, we have already taken the entry, and I'm sure that in times to come, we'll be able to make our presence felt, especially in places like Gulf, etc., where we already have an outlet, and we are planning to have a manufacturing setup in Gulf also to service these types of industry. So these are the potentials that we have a lot of hope on. I just wanted to share this with you all because I'm sure that every shareholder would like to understand as to what is the growth potential for the company they are connected with or in which they have invested. So in short, I thought I'll share the existing potential and the thought line of your board. If you have any other questions, you can later on contact us and we'll be happy to discuss with you the prospects. For the time being, I think they should be enough to give you an idea of where we are heading. Any other question?
Thank you, Chairman, sir, for your valuable insights and the future outlook and your concluding remarks. And thank you to all our shareholders for your valuable participation. Whilst our team has tried to answer most of your queries, but if there are any queries that remain unanswered, please do send them via email to the company secretary. With this, since all our business items are covered, I declare the 66th Annual General Meeting proceedings concluded.
I would like to take this opportunity to thank all our colleague directors and my colleagues on the dais. Thank you, gentlemen.
With all the business items covered, I declare the 66th Annual General Meetings proceedings concluded. E-voting will remain open for 15 minutes after the meeting, so members are encouraged to cast their votes. On behalf of the Board of Directors and Management, I extend our sincere gratitude to all shareholders for attending. Please stay safe and take care. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
CDS. Okay.
Yes. Oops.